Welcome to the Opinionated Geek podcast. I am your host, John Hanna. Uh, it's been a long week. Been doing 5 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon for pretty much all week. Uh, Even got to go in tomorrow, so a lot of extra hours. That should be good. Uh, Things are changing a little bit, as you can tell. It's 9 o'clock. It's Friday. I'm trying to get some stuff down in my life to kind of consolidate stuff that I want to do. And that's why it's been a little bit rocky at the beginning of the year and just like through the holidays and stuff. So we're trying to come up with a schedule, and I'm really tired too already. Ugh. But yeah, we're going to be trying to come up with a schedule. And so far, this is what I have. Starting 5 p.m., I'm going to be eating dinner. Then I got 3 days of the week. I want to continue to learn to code Python. 5 days of the week, I want to be doing guitar, practicing guitar. 7 days of the week, I want to be writing 500 words in my novel, or at least brainstorming, coming up with more ideas to flesh out the novel. 2 days, which will be Monday and Thursday, I'm going to be streaming the video games. And then Friday at 9 o'clock, I will be doing this podcast. And I'll most likely upload it on probably Monday or something like that to YouTube and my Podbean. It's going to take a little while to get into the groove of stuff. Even today, I wanted to like get on it, and I missed my guitar time, and I'm still getting a kind of a hang of Scrivener, so I'm really actually diving into it right now. So I'm kind of learning how to use the software to the best of its ability, so I can learn to write and be quick and do the stuff that I need and want. So I've been basically learning a little bit of that, how to do outlining better for my stuff, because the way I had it, I mean, I guess it would have worked, but it was kind of a little bit everywhere. So I watched some videos on outlining, and that cleared some stuff up. So we're going to get there. But I think this is going to be overall a good thing. Now I realize the schedule is a idea. It's not really going to be something set in stone, because the reality is like I still have personal stuff that will come up, and the fact that I'm basically leaving my whole afternoons to stuff that I want to do specifically makes no sense that I would actually have this set in stone. So it's going to be to the best of my ability that I'm going to do it. But the reason why I put the podcast at 9 is because I know for a fact at 9 o'clock I will be here. Very rarely am I somewhere else on a Friday night. But oh yeah, and also I'm doing my company inventory. So basically I'm going to be traveling to different locations all this month. So it's funny that I create a schedule, and I know for a fact I won't be able to keep it. But the good thing is, this stuff that I really want to like focus on is really uh learning to code, because that can make me money, and writing. That could also, in theory, make me money. So those three things, or those three things, those two things, I can do at any time because I have a laptop, and writing and coding doesn't require that much horsepower, at least for the stuff that I'm doing. I'm not like making games or anything, so I can do both those things on the go. So at a hotel doing inventory and stuff, I can at least do that. And actually, I think the hotel is going to be a really good thing with the writing aspect, because I need to get away from this. In fact, actually, I need to look to see if there's any software that can like lock me out of certain programs and stuff at, through certain times, so that way I can't, uh, be tempted to go and play a game or play on the internet, watch YouTube videos for hours. Hopefully, but this is the goal, and I wish I could stream some more, but it's just I haven't been in too much of a gaming mood, and because I don't really make money on it, I'm not going to bother doing it too much, and I'd rather be consistent than streaming a lot but inconsistent, if you know what I mean. So if somebody like continues to come and watch me, that's awesome. If not, that's fine. But yeah. So the guitar thing, it's one of those things where I'm wanting to do it, but I need to get that. I have a Udemy course for learning guitar, but I still think the more fun way will be actually getting that rock, not Rock Band, whatever that program that I bought was, that basically you have to buy a special cable. Rocksmith? Is it Rocksmith? I think it's Rocksmith. And you basically, it's in the form of like a Guitar Hero thing, but you actually use a real guitar. And over time, through playing songs, you'll get to grab hints of uh, typical patterns that songs use, and then you can start using that knowledge to make your own music eventually. And I already kind of have a general idea about music theory. My thing is, I haven't really got to know the guitar and where the notes are on the guitar. It's a little on the different side compared to a piano. The piano's got just, it's in a straight line, where a guitar, I mean, I guess it technically isn't. It's the same thing, but not. Yeah, it's hard to describe. Guitar is a weird thing, but obviously it's one of the most popular instruments, so it must be not that strange. It's just in my head it is, because I'm used to the piano. So, what's next on the agenda? Last weekend, I actually finally got to play some Dungeons and Dragons again. The cool thing is our friends moved back from Texas, and we got to play with them again. And they were a part of our old group, and then they moved away, and now they're back. Uh, it was a complete mess for the most part, because last Friday night, I was prepping the game, and the laptop that I did have, all of a sudden the screen blinked 3 times, and then I couldn't move the mouse. The keyboard wasn't reacting whatsoever. And I was like, maybe 20 seconds. And then all of a sudden, the computer shut off. And then when it booted back up, the screen was all messed up. Like it almost looked like, in a way, without the screen being cracked, looks like somebody just took something to it. And this, I would say 75% of the screen was just black, and then the rest of 25% was white with digital black lines through it. Obviously, it was effed up. And the only thing I could think of is that the graphics card took a crap. Either that or the screen, but I'm pretty sure it'd be the graphics card, because I had bought a Dell computer the one time, and we got the upgraded graphics card so I could play some games, and right out of the box, the graphics cards were screwed up. I thought it was pretty amazing that the very next day, once I got a hold of Dell, the next day I had my new graphics card, and it worked completely fine. But I've seen the glitches before, so I'm assuming it was the graphics card. But I did the bad thing, and I took other people's advice, and when I looked up the idea of using Dropbox to sync the files, because my thought was, originally what I thought was, is I'll be prepping the game on my desktop, and then I'll be going over to the place where we game and using one of their computers to play the game on. So I thought, well, why don't I just put on Dropbox all my files, so that way, whenever we're done playing, I exit out of the program, and it just uploads everything to my desktop, and then I can work on it at home and continue on, so on and so forth. Well, I read that there could be an issue where some stuff doesn't get uploaded, or, whatever the case may be, and you could come across some corrupt stuff. So, in the end, I didn't do it. So therefore, I didn't back up my files at all. So now, which is another thing I'm going to have to do on when I'm at the hotel too, is I'm going to be transferring all the characters. Well, I'm going to be making them again in Fantasy Grounds, and then that way, the next time we play, we can actually play this time. We had to do it old school. To be honest with you, it was because I never got to be the DM and did it old school. It has its pluses and minuses, just like the digital thing. The digital has its pluses and minuses too. But what I like about it is you can just go when it comes to the old school way. It's like, okay, well, we need this battle mat, and you need to be in this central location, and I'm just going to draw it for you. The only thing you need to do as far as actual manual stuff is you got to have the encounters already set up. But other than that, you just draw the map as you go and place the miniatures down where you want it to go, and you're good to go. Where the digital, it takes a lot more prepping in all reality. But if you were doing it online, Fantasy Grounds would be wonderful, because yes, it's going to take a little bit longer to prep, but once you have it prepped almost like everything's like automatic, from attacks to uh, effects, all that stuff. So it makes the gameplay move quicker. It just takes longer to prep. Now, when I say prep, I mean uh, adjusting the monsters levels if you need to. Like we're running a Tomb of Annihilation. If if I'm basically doing stuff out of the actual module, for the most part, I just need to make sure that those characters' levels match the monsters' levels to give them a challenge. If not, then I gotta adjust it. But for the most part, if it's in the module, I really don't have to do anything. I just need to basically read up on what's going to happen, what interesting aspects can happen. Because like right now, they finally got to Omu. OMU. I'm saying Omu. But and to be honest with you, I need to dig a little bit further into it because I don't know much about it. I kind of have a rough idea of what's going on, but this is one of those games where, or this area is going to be one of those things where if I'm not staying ahead, it's going to be problematic because now they're in an actual town, or I should say, not it's not a town, it's a city. It's a dead city, and they could go anywhere, and I got to be prepared for where they're going to go. And I also need to keep it interesting because it's an actual massive city, and there's only so many places where they focus on in the module. Anywhere else, I need to make sure that they have something to do. So the fact that I had all this stuff prepped on the computer and then the computer died, now they gave me a better laptop, which is what I'm going to be using for the writing and coding. The issue there is there's a whole bunch of crap that came along with that, where the guy that is actually the who lives there, he was at work for so many hours, so he didn't come home. So I had to kind of try to figure this out and make it work. Problem is, I started trying to put in these characters while on the fly, essentially, and it was taking too long. And then even then, once I spent way too long trying to do that, then we tried to get the game up and running and have stuff started and whatnot. And in the end, I forgot that Fantasy Grounds is a little bit picky when it comes to its internet stuff. And because we basically have a computer separate just for the map on the table. So we need those two, at least my computer and the TV computer, to hook up. And I forgot you need to open ports and stuff and allow ports, and guess what? I know how to do it on my router, but having to do it with other people's stuff, it's a pain in the butt, and I didn't want to bother him because he was at work. And yeah, so in the end, we just did it old school. But with digital, I like the fact that you can see the maps. I don't know how many times I had to kind of explain, they're like, what's this location? And it's like this squiggly line. I'm like, oh, that's a balcony up top. So it's not like it's a hole or anything. And then of course there's a circle on the ground, and I'm like, that's a statue. Where the digital maps, you're just like, here's the map. You know that there's an actual like steps going up to this balcony. You know that's a statue. It's just simple stuff like that that really makes it worthwhile. Now, I need to talk to everybody in our group, but I think there can be a compromise. But I think you have a lot of people that like you have a little bit of people like the digital stuff, and then you have a little bit of people like the old school way. What I would like to do is digital maps, but have the miniatures. So basically, put like a plexiglass thing over the TV, so you don't scratch up the TV, and that way we can use little miniatures. Uh, and I think that might be a little bit better way. And then what we could do, if I'm pretty sure this is how this works, then we can even use wet erase, wet erase or dry erase. I think it's dry erase. I don't know. Whatever works on plexiglass. Then we can do other stuff on that, like on the fly, because like spells are the really the only issue I feel right now, because I have a spell pack that I can use, but then I have to deal with layers because if I have to install a plugin for layers, and the way the layers works in when it comes to pre-programmed maps, you got to do a lot of remembering because the I forget how it works, but the bottom layer is, for example, where you would put stuff that you want to stay there. Like let's say you want a barrel somewhere specifically. You put the barrel there on the foundation layer. Then in the mid layer, this is when you would put your spell effects, for example. And then the top layer is where you would put your characters and stuff. The issue with the plugin and having these pre-made modules is these pre-made modules are lovely because they give you all the stuff right there. They give you all the monsters in their locations, and it's just great and easy. But the problem is with these layers, then you have the monsters on the base level. So then what you're doing is you're switching back and forth with layers, and it gets a little annoying. And also, they have little needle pins, so you can put like notes and stuff. And that's definitely part of the actual pre-made modules. Well, your characters could be moving along, and then you're like trying to hit the pin, and you can't hit the pin, and you're like, well, why can't I hit the pin? It's like, oh, it's because it's on the other layer. So it gets a little confusing. So the easier, the better. So if I can avoid extensions that do the layers, we will be good. So if we can actually do spell effects like actually on the TV screen or the plexiglass, that way we don't have to worry about different layers and stuff. But I still need to look into it because there's issues with the software, and basically there's virtual dice and they're always showing. Now apparently there's some extensions that kind of almost remove them, like they put them like off the edge of the screen, but they're still there. Man, am I tired. Well, I gotta work again tomorrow, so I don't want to drink coffee. Anyway. And what the heck was that? Dang. I forgot what was that. I knew I was talking about layers. Yeah, and then the spell effects. Yeah, just basically be able to put him down on the fiberglass or plexiglass, not fiberglass, plexiglass. But anyway, yeah, that's our thing. It was cool. I actually really liked our friends that moved back. Their characters, they were unique. They did a really good job role playing. In fact, actually, it was funny because the one guy who also is familiar with Critical Role and has listened to quite a few episodes, he was role playing back and forth with them, and then I guess like after a while, he was kind of annoyed because I wasn't moving the game along. My thought is, you as players and as people yourselves, as the characters themselves, you guys know what you want to do. You guys know what you need to do. And right now you're role playing. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need to move the game at all. And I'm not going to be like, and something attacks you just because, you know, I need the game to move along. Because to me, fighting and getting into a battle, that doesn't move the game along. That halts the game. So overall, yeah, it's one of the things where I'm like, I'm still getting the hang of it as a DM, but I'm like, I don't think it's necessarily my job to say, go this way, go that way. I'm like, this city is yours. Where do you want to go? And yeah, it's just weird that he would say that. It's like, are you going to keep on letting this go along? It's like, yeah, I'm enjoying the role playing. This is what I want more of as a DM. But again, I guess it's one of the things where it's like in the grand scheme of things, what people like and what they really want are completely different. Me, I want that Critical Role feel. I want the characters having relationships, like actual really good relationships, not like this character's my brother and we fight. I want like actual real real relationships building in the characters themselves. But I don't know. I guess he was a little weird about it, or I don't know. All right. I think that is all for that. Well, I'll definitely keep you updated because it should be a lot more interesting now with those two. And now that I'm back into it again, uh, I'm going to be more gun ho about it again because it's the amount of time that we took away from it. I actually was kind of like, oh, we're going to do that again type of thing. But I'm glad we're doing it again. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, I was having so many free weekends of not doing anything that I was enjoying that. But now we're back doing that, so it's cool. We'll keep on with that though. And if you looked at my schedule, it doesn't have room for D&D. But the good thing is, those days it's simple stuff, like writing. I can do that after the game, before the game, type of thing. Anyway, on to the next thing that I played. I didn't finish it, but episode 2 of Life is Strange 2 came out. I actually was not in a hurry to play it. I guess mainly because of the overall theme of Life is Strange 2. I'm curious. I'm really, really curious because I wasn't around for Life is Strange, the original one. When I bought it, it was completely out. But I was around for Before the Storm. And from what I understand and gather, Life is Strange 1 was fairly similar. But basically, you had 2 months in between an episode, and then they would bring another one out. Life is Strange 2 came out in, I forget when it was. It was like June, July, or August, and we're just now getting episode 2. So I don't know what their deal is, but I hope it isn't like this the rest of the time, because I forget what somebody said. By the time we got all the episodes, it would be like 2021 or 22 or something like that. By the time we got all of them, because again, it's been, I think, over half a year, and we finally got the second episode. So, and I know that's the issue that you're always going to have when it comes to episodic games, but I thought for sure that Life is Strange 2 would be 100% cool with everything. But I'm not sure if there was a backlash because of the overall theme of this. Because again, right off the bat, they go the political route. And of course, you have two Mexican kids, cop shoots his dad. Again, it was the guy was a rookie. He shouldn't have been there by himself. He got overstressed and shot the dad by accident. Should he have? No. But that's what I got out of the actual cutscene. And in fact, in this one, they even I forget if it's his wife, girlfriend, daughter, something like. No, it wasn't a daughter because the guy was a rookie. He was, kind of young. But she had sent a letter to the newspaper basically describing all the things that was wrong in that situation, and basically that's what she basically said. He was like, he was a rookie. He shouldn't have been out there by himself, type of thing. So again, it was what I thought it was, which is funny because on Facebook, when the first episode comes out, I made the comment about, because everyone's like, cops just racist. And right off the bat, I'm like, no, I don't think the cop's racist. And I basically described what I just said. He was a rookie and all that stuff, and under pressure and all that stuff. Again, was it stupid? Was it an accident? Yes. But that's the way the game showed it as. But naturally, you have people on the left that are crazy, and they want to just pin it home that, I guess, all cops are racist, and they want to, kill unarmed people of different colors. And obviously there's going to be some out there that are like that, but then you also are going to have a bunch of stupid people that are just ill-experienced with being a cop, and stuff happens. Now, if you ask me, I think law enforcement officers should go through the same crap that the Marines do. I don't know what the heck they do in the Marines, but to me, it's like they brainwash the crap out of them, and it doesn't matter. It's, it's like, what is it? Duty, country, God, family, or something like that. And that's their motto. Their motto isn't, I want to go home at night. That's not in their vocabulary. They would like to go home, I'm sure, but if the time calls for it, no. Where it seems like the overall message when it comes to law enforcement people is, well, I deserve to go home at night. Yes, you do. But if you go into law enforcement, you shouldn't expect to go home at night. No offense, but you are dealing with people that are doing wrong and illegal things. If you don't think that those people are going to try to retaliate and hurt you, then you are a moron and you should not be a law enforcement officer. The idea is you decided to do what you want to do with as far as a job, and you decided you want to put your life on the line. There should be no, I deserve to go home. That's the way I feel. I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but it's just like the military. My one friend actually who was in the military, he agrees. I'm like, he doesn't want to be treated like somebody special. He's like, I was just doing my job. That's it. It's just like me doing my job. It's he signed up to do a job and he did it. He doesn't need to be, technically stood up for the national anthem and all that stuff. He's like, whatever. And I agree with him. But anyway, the weird thing is this was delayed so long. So much so that Xbox Live Gold, or whatever they're calling it, basically where you get your couple free games per month, or at least you're renting it, because as soon as you stop paying for Xbox Live, you can't play them anymore. So you gotta start up Xbox Live to get them again. They gave you Life is Strange 2. Now, I'm not sure about the description because all it said was Life is Strange 2. I'm not sure if you get all of it or just episode 1. But that's kind of the scary thing, is this episode took so long to come out, and I guess maybe due to the political issue, that it might not have sold as well as the original Life is Strange. So it kind of sucks because, again, yes, it does have political issues, but I still think it actually has kind of a good message and will be a good message in the long run. But they went pretty hard on that first episode. The second one, on the other hand, they had a little bit at the beginning because, and it wasn't too bad. It was just metaphysical, or I don't think that's the proper term. Symbolic. We'll just say symbolic. They use symbolic things because basically the two brothers, they constantly are calling themselves the Wolf Pack. So naturally, when they're recounting the story of what happened in episode 1, because they had to, because it took so long to come out, they basically called anybody that did them wrong, they were hunters. So it wasn't a cop, it was a hunter. Now, the other issue in the first episode was they stop at a gas station and this white dude that owns the gas station comes out and harasses them, basically. And then eventually kidnaps them. And of course, they were like, this is why we need to build a wall, and, all this so over the top stuff. And I'm like, I know the way the news portrays people on the right, but the reality is the chances of that specific scenario happening is so small. Your average person, even if they're like, build the wall, MAGA, all that, stupid stuff, they would not ever assume somebody is an illegal alien and kidnap them and then, eventually try to call the cops and stuff like that. They just wouldn't. It never crosses my mind that, anytime I see a Mexican, like, they're most likely illegals. I'm like, no. But if I find out, I'm like pretty disappointed. I even was roommates with a girl whose parents apparently are here illegally. Obviously, she was born here, and got raised and all that stuff. But I'm just like, why? Just do everything proper. And at this point, it's like you should have done stuff proper by now. If Because the girl was, I can't remember if she was 18 or not at the time. I think she was. But I'm like, you had 18 years to do something about this, and you're still an illegal? Yeah, I don't get it. Because, yeah, again, if you have enough money to have a kid, you have enough money to get, to pay for the legalization. My thought is, how about not have the kid if you want to move to America? Get the legalization, then have your kid. I don't know. But I'm not in that situation, and I never will be in that situation. Well, in theory, I will not be in that situation. Uh, but so I guess I don't know from their standpoint, but it's one of the things where it's like, just try to do everything as legal as possible. Just try it. I know it's more difficult than actually said, but anyway. So yeah, so those two characters were considered hunters. Now the gas station guy, as unrealistic as that was, that I wouldn't mind considering a hunter. The cop, I wouldn't consider him a hunter. But anyway, one thing I've noticed though about episode 2 is the cutscenes. There was a massive amounts of cutscenes, ridiculous amounts of cutscenes, to the point where I wasn't really playing much. I was just watching cutscenes. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cutscenes in Life is Strange and Before the Storm because it's a game, it's a narrative story. But in Life is Strange and Before the Storm, if a character said, "Hey, could you close the door?" they would at least allow you to control the character and move over and close the door as you search around the room and all that stuff. This one, I noticed that even the "hey, shut the door," that was a cutscene. So it's like very, very, very controlled in like everything. I've probably played, we'll say, a good half an hour, maybe 45 minutes out of the 2.5 hours that I've played. That's how bad it is. I stopped playing last night. I was going to hopefully finish it, but I was at a little farmer's market thing where they were buying Christmas trees and stuff, and I was going to buy a little gift for somebody in the game. And as soon as I went to actually purchase that gift, it did a crash on me. So I stopped there because it was getting late anyway, and I needed to get to bed for work. But yeah, so that's disappointing. You do like 6 months of waiting, and then they still don't actually have it up to par to the point where it crashes. But overall, the story is a lot better. What I liked was, if you played the free little demo thing of the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit, which was kind of but they connect the story in this episode. So you get to meet the kid that was playing Captain Spirit in it. And naturally, like we all thought, that those kids at the end of Captain Spirit are the kids that you are now playing. So it's pretty cool that they actually use your save data from Captain Spirit. So as long if you have it on your thing. Now the only thing I can think of, the only save thing that you're actually uh, getting from this game save is how you choose the uh, the kid, how he's dressed as a superhero. Because in the Captain Spirit game, you actually build your outfit. So depending on what you choose is however you're going to look. So I think that's the only save data that actually goes into the game. But I think it's a cool touch that they still allow you to get save data from that game and have it added into Life is Strange 2. But yeah, overall, kind of good. They definitely, again, let off the political stuff a little bit more. Uh, I'll be curious to see if it goes further. The they did there was two homeless people and they're getting hassled by somebody because they had a dog without a leash and all that stuff, which I agree. I I'm not a huge fan of dogs in general, but keep them out of my keep them out of retail stores unless it's an actual service dog, a proper service dog, aka you're blind, not a comfort dog that you say is a service dog. It's not a service dog. That's a dog that you just want to take everywhere. But I also just see people just bringing their dog in with their leash. I'm like, look, leave the dog at home. Don't don't bring it in here just because you wanted to bring it along in the car, but you can't leave it in the car nowadays because people get angry at you and break your windows open and all that stupid stuff. Just leave the dog at home. And if you can't leave the dog at home because you can't trust it, just don't have a dog. How about that? But anyway, yeah, so far good. Uh, they played a little bit more music this time. Everybody's like, Life is Strange 2's music's great. I mean, for the most part, I didn't notice any commercial stuff like Before the Storm and the original Life is Strange, where they got like lots of indie stuff. Uh, this one's just like indie sounding music, but it's just like background music that you could tell that they specifically did. And then uh, they did have two songs that I'm assuming the one was an actual singer, like copyrighted singer and all that stuff, and not just a song that they made up for the game. But that was nice. So they had those two. But anyway, yeah. So far it's good, but we'll have to see. They definitely don't click with me as much as Max and Chloe did, but that's to be expected, I guess. These are just normal kids. Where Max and Chloe, it's like, well, Max kind of, I feel like kind of represents me. I'm kind of shy, kind of, not, I don't try to get into trouble and all that stuff. And Chloe is just, the cool girl, punk girl type of thing. And I like that type of, you know, those types of people. So I got along with those characters very well once I got used to the stupid teen talk as they wrote it, where they try to make it sound like they're hip, but they're not because they're not written by real teenagers. But anyway, that's all I got for today because I am tired. I will see you hopefully next Friday and every Friday from here on out, as much as possible anyway. So anyway, thank you for watching if you did, or listening, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.